hands it off to Jackson. Jackson uses the screen, lost the handle, bounce pass to Plum. Plum loses it, regains it, throws it up for grabs. Grabbed by Boston out of the sky, and we're going to have a foul here. No, a timeout taken by Indiana.
What I love the most about this squad is that, just like O said, like we instill confidence, the coach instills confidence that any shot you take, shoot it with confidence because we trust you and we trust that you're going to make it. And I feel like that's just really helped us down the line because no matter who comes in, no matter who steps up, we're all just really happy for each other.
When Aaliyah Boston walked off the court in LA, her words carried weight, but it was her game that did the talking. On a night when Indiana looked like they were on the ropes, Boston exploded for 22 points, 11 boards, and a career-high 6 steals, sealing the game with a stop that had Fever fans on their feet. But what did she really mean after the game? Tonight, we dig deeper into her message, because those words might hold the key to understanding how this team just pulled off the most important win of their season. And even with the injuries piling up and momentum slipping away, an unexpected hero stepped up and lit the spark that slammed the door on the Sparks. Let's break down how this game didn't just save a season. It sent a message to the entire WNBA.
Beaver dog! Bow, bow, bow! Hell yeah!
How do you find a way to win when half your roster is stuck in street clothes? That was the question Indiana faced as they walked into Los Angeles. Caitlin Clark, still sidelined. Sophie Cunningham, out. Sydney Coulson and Ari McDonald, also unavailable. 4 guards, 4 playmakers, gone. For most teams, that's the end of the story in a game this important. But the Fever didn't have the luxury of folding. They walked in with nothing but grit, heart, and belief in whoever was left standing. And from the opening tip, it was clear this was going to be a fight.
About the resilient, nature of our team. I think one other thing that sometimes goes missed is just the character of these women, right? Especially this group that's been here, that's gone through all of this, and then the ones that we brought in with O and Shay and AP. I mean, these are women who care about winning. These are women who care about one another. These are women who sacrifice.
This wasn't just another regular season game. This was personal. The Sparks had beaten Indiana every single time they'd met this year. 3 games, 3 losses, each one more frustrating than the last. And to make things worse, the standings were tight. Indiana was clinging to the 6th seed, trying to protect their playoff spot, while Los Angeles sat just 2 games behind in 9th, waiting for a chance to pounce. Add 4 losses in the last 5 to the mix, and the pressure was suffocating. Everyone was asking the same question. Had this team finally hit the wall?
Steph mentioned, whenever she sees you with the 2 black eyes, she smiles in a way because it just exemplifies your toughness. Do you feel tough in these kinds of situations with these 2 black eyes?
I mean, that's what people keep telling me. Every time she sees me, she smiles and then she says, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, you don't need to be sorry. This is what it is. And when I'm playing, I forget about it, and then I go and look at the mirror. I'm like, oh shit, he's still there. So yeah, I don't really think too much about it because I don't necessarily feel them all the time.
Yeah, and you're still able to see completely fine.
Yep.
Right.
Nothing's changed.
All right, perfect.
From the outside, Indiana looked fragile, a team on the verge of cracking. 5 games left, a roster held together by tape and hope, and now facing a dangerous opponent. But in that locker room, they didn't talk about excuses. They talked about survival. Every possession mattered. Every rebound mattered. Whoever got minutes had to play bigger, tougher, and smarter than their role usually demanded. There was no room for passengers. Every player had to carry weight.
I was like, I just need to get the swelling to go down in my forehead. So I put a patch, slept with it. The next day, woke up, and I was like, okay, the bump is almost gone, but now I have 2 black eyes. So that was tragic. But I mean, it's at this point, it's unfortunately won't be able to hide it. People know, so just rolling with it.
Were you able to hide it for the photo shoots?
The makeup artist did a really, really, really good job. And people that hadn't met me before were like, oh, I can't even tell. I'm like, okay, that's good. We'll take it. But I'm hoping they'll do some editing in the post.
And then there was Lexie Hull. 2 black eyes from a collision with Gabby Williams in the last game. And still, she didn't back down. She fought through screens, dove for loose balls, and hounded defenders like her season depended on it. She wasn't just playing, she was setting the tone. Hull became the physical embodiment of what this team needed that night. Show up, even when it hurts. And that quiet message she sent by battling through the pain, It fueled everyone around her.
Yeah, I imagine on Tuesday you got checked for concussion,
Yep.
facial fracture. Just how much of a sigh of relief was it that you didn't have concussion or any kind of fracture in your face?
Yeah, honestly, when it happened, I was like relieved because I could feel myself like I was good to go. Like I felt completely with it. They did all the tests they needed to do and put ice on it right away, try to, keep the swelling down. But I felt good knowing that like, obviously, it could have been a lot worse, and I'm grateful for the people online wanting to check on me and make sure that I'm okay, but I am okay. I've been fully checked out, so.
This game wasn't about pretty basketball. There were no flashy highlight passes or wide-open threes lighting up the scoreboard. Every basket, every stop, every loose ball came with a layer of desperation. One run from LA and it could have been over, but the Fever didn't crack. They matched intensity with intensity, fight with fight, and slowly turned the game into a grind. It wasn't pretty, but it was exactly what Indiana needed.
Offensive rebound, Sims the runner. Here's Howard. Shovels Sims right at the doorstep, and she gets it off the window. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
And then, out of nowhere, came Odyssey Sims. The veteran guard, signed mid-season, had been quietly biding her time, waiting for the right moment. This was it. A short-handed team fighting for survival, a road crowd roaring, and a game hanging in the balance. Sims stepped into the chaos and became the heartbeat of the night. And for her, this game wasn't just business. It was personal. She had worn that Sparks jersey. She had bled for that team. And now, wearing Indiana red, she used every ounce of that history to fuel a performance nobody saw coming.
Down by Plum. Plum 1-on-2, ripped away there by Sims. Great play by Odyssey Sims. Played the ball. 3-on-3 the other way. Sims the take and finishes the lefty layup.
Backup guards aren't supposed to carry offenses. The scouting report didn't even circle her name. And yet, when Kelsey Mitchell couldn't find her shot, hitting just 5 of 14 attempts, it was Sims who steadied the ship. Possession after possession, she played like she'd been waiting for this moment her entire career. No hesitation, no fear. Just a veteran who knew exactly what her team needed and delivered it, one clutch play at a time.
Yeah, honestly, 5 straight points for you to help take the lead at the end of the game. Just what was that mindset for you in those final seconds?
I didn't shoot the ball well from the 3. I was over before I made that shot, but I didn't lose confidence. I think my teammates did a great job, along with the coaches, just constantly talking to me. Weren't worried about my missed shots. It just came down to continue to play. They believe in me so much, so that helped me. And when I shot it, I was open. It was one of those do or die. It went in, and I was excited about that. Like I said, I was open from the 3, but we got the W, so it feels great.
The box score will tell you Sims scored 21 points, but that number doesn't tell the whole story. It's when she scored them that mattered most. She controlled the tempo, pushing the pace when Indiana needed a spark, then slowing it down when LA threatened to swing momentum. And in the fourth quarter, when the game was slipping into dangerous territory, the ball kept finding her hands. Drives through traffic, pull-ups in the mid-range, smart decisions in chaos. She wasn't just playing, she was orchestrating. And then came that moment, just 13.6 seconds left, the Fever clinging to hope, and the ball in her hands. Sims rose up for that signature floater she's honed over a decade in the league, and it dropped. Clean. Perfect. The shot that gave Indiana the lead for good. The Staples Center went quiet, and the weight that had been pressing on this team for weeks finally lifted. Sims didn't celebrate. She didn't need to. The calm on her face said it all. This was her moment, and she had just saved the Fever's season. As the clock wound down, Odyssey Sims stayed calm. 5 straight points in the final moments, and suddenly, Indiana had life. After the game, when reporters asked what was going through her mind, her answer said it all. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That wasn't just a catchy quote. It was the perfect summary of her journey and her performance. Sims has been through everything. Cut from teams, hardship contracts, fighting for every roster spot. And yet, when her number was called, she didn't flinch. She didn't just help the Fever steal a win in Los Angeles. She reminded everyone that this game rewards players who never stop preparing. And then there was Aaliyah Boston, the anchor, the heartbeat, the leader. Her stat line told one story: 22 points, 11 boards, 4 assists, and a career-high 6 steals. But watching her play told another. Boston didn't just score. She imposed her will on both ends of the floor. She bullied defenders in the paint, cleaned the glass with authority, and turned defensive reads into easy buckets. And when the Sparks had one last chance to flip the game, Boston slammed that door shut. Reading the play like a seasoned veteran, she stripped the ball clean with less than 2 seconds left, sealing the win with a simple, dominant statement: "Not tonight." After the buzzer, cameras turned to Boston. When reporters asked how this team keeps fighting through injuries, trades, and setbacks, her answer became a rallying cry: "Next woman up." It wasn't just a slogan, it was what we'd just watched play out in real time. Every player on the floor, from Sims to Lexie Hull to Aerial Powers, played as if their effort could decide the game. Boston's leadership isn't loud or flashy, but it's unshakable. When she says, "Next woman up," it tells every teammate, you belong, you're trusted, and you're needed. That quiet confidence is why this team never looked panicked, even when the game threatened to slip away. Look at the little things that made the difference. Lexie Hull, face bruised and eyes darkened, still chasing loose balls and running through screens like nothing else mattered. Aerial Powers, bringing instant offense and a jolt of energy off the bench. Natasha Howard, spinning past defenders for key buckets that stopped LA's momentum. These weren't just stat sheet plays. They were moments that showed how deep this team's belief runs. Everyone, from starter to reserve, leaned into their role. That's what Boston's "Next Woman Up" mantra really means: a group that refuses to fold, no matter how many times the lineup changes. This win did more than just snap a losing streak. It shifted the entire playoff picture. Indiana now holds tighter control of the 6th seed, creating breathing room over Seattle and pushing the Sparks further back. Suddenly, a playoff berth feels less like a hope and more like an expectation. And they did it without their biggest star. That kind of resilience doesn't just build confidence, it builds fear in the teams they'll face next. And now, every conversation in Indiana circles back to one name: Caitlin Clark. The rookie sensation has missed 17 straight games with that groin injury. But for the first time in weeks, hope feels real. She's back in practice gear, back warming up with the team, back moving without the noticeable limp that had fans worried. It's not full contact action yet, but every shot she takes, every drill she runs, every smile during shoot-around is a sign that the return is coming. The timing makes it even more dramatic. 5 games left in the regular season. Every matchup critical. Indiana clinging to the 6th seed with Seattle breathing down their necks. Drop one game, and the playoff picture could shift overnight. But if Clark returns, even for limited minutes, everything changes. The pace, the spacing, the confidence. Her presence alone alters how defenses approach Indiana. And when you combine her vision with Boston's dominance and the depth this roster has discovered, suddenly, this team doesn't just look like playoff survivors, they look like a threat. Imagine it. Caitlin Clark stepping back onto the court just in time for a final playoff push. The arena buzzing, teammates feeding off her energy, defenders forced to pick their poison between her playmaking and Boston's interior strength. The Fever have already proven they can win ugly, grind out close games, and survive without her. Now, they're on the verge of adding the one player who can flip those survival wins into statement victories. That's not just a boost. That's a warning shot to the entire league. What Indiana did in Los Angeles wasn't just about getting back into the win column. It was proof. Proof that they can fight through chaos. Proof that they can win in hostile arenas. Proof that this team has a culture strong enough to survive the toughest stretches of a season. And now, with Caitlin Clark inching closer to her return, that proof becomes power. Because if this is what the Fever can do shorthanded, imagine what's coming when they're whole again. For Fever fans, hope isn't just alive, it's surging. And for the rest of the league, that sound you hear is a storm building in Indiana, and it's only just getting started.